Monster Train. I'm Mark, and this is Andrew, and we are here to play more of Monster Train today, more than we did last time.
Much more.
So last time we focused on a single battle, or two battles. Did we do two battles?
We did two battles. Yeah, we did two battles.
And we showed off a little bit about how the game works and how the moment-to-moment gameplay works. So this time, we're planning to play in a bit of a longer session to show kind of more about the metagame strategy and the types of decisions that you're going to be making in between battles. That we completely hid last time.
Right.
And we're going to see how far that we can get overall within the time that we have, which is around 30 minutes today we have planned. And I'm not quite sure how far we're going to get, but we're going to try our best.
Yeah, and hopefully we don't lose, make ourselves look bad.
Right. So I'm going to be playing, and Andrew is going to be primarily commentating.
Yep.
The one thing that we want to say up front is we are planning to pick our favorite question today. And the person who gives us our favorite question in chat is going to get a beta key for Monster Train in the upcoming beta.
Which is coming soon.
It's coming soon.
Yeah.
But let's get all this out of the way, I guess, and let's just get started. So
cool.
I'm going to flip over to the game.
Sounds, yeah.
So here we are. We are at the
main menu.
The main menu. Beautiful. So let's start the game. Let's hope that I set up the initial plans correctly. Okay, I did.
Perfect.
So should we start with? Should we be the Hellhorn, or
should
should we be
swap
the?
It this time.
We gotta swap it. So
yeah,
last time we
right.
went the other way around. So I'm gonna switch to the Awoken is our main clan, and our allied clan will be the Hellhorned. And these other magic icons that I'm not gonna hover my mouse on are other clans that you'll. Will be the ones that you find about next time, or some other time.
Some other time, maybe not even next time. Those are coming up. Obviously, there's more clans.
There are more clans in the game. So.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started. Okay. What are we seeing, Andrew? Walk us through it.
Right. So this is what we talked about last time, so I won't stay on it too long. But we know that the last boss is going to be Seraph the Diligent, which will devour our spells. So that means that all of the spells we draft, and we probably won't make it to Seraph today. That's the last boss you'll face. We will get there in a future stream. But if we were to make it, it basically means all of our spells can only be played once during that battle. So you should build a strategy that relies a bit more on units, or expects your spells to kind of come back from being devoured, which you can do from being consumed. So also we have our starting cards. 2 Pyre Shards.
What do we got? Pyre Shards?
This is consume cards. We can play it once per combat. It gives Spikes 4, which is something you want to put on friendly units, because whenever they're attacked, they will return damage. Hidden Passage, which is a favorite card of ours. We had this one last time, I think, which moves a unit up a floor. Very useful. Yours, enemies, anything. One of the best ways to move units around. And then Restoring Retreat, which is basically the opposite. It descends a unit. It also restores 10 health. So if you use it on the enemy, it's going to get some health back.
Yeah, this is beautiful. This is showing off both up and down. The multi-floor kind of battle scenario is like a big part of our game. It's one of the unique features. So we've got some nice starting cards here to kind of show that off.
Right.
This was not planned, by the way. We did not try to set this up.
Right.
All right.
It's
so
random every time.
We get to the map here. We already have some things to decide.
Right. So let's talk about the map at large. So there's different nodes on the map. You're basically pretty much every battle you start, you're going to start with these 2.
All right.
And no choice. But as you advance, you're going to have choices in the map regions. Different nodes, different things. Some give you rewards. Some are merchants. Some will heal you. Some are not choices. Some you get no matter which side you go to. So I think we'll talk about them as we get to them, but you can sort of see the map all the way through. Everything's Hell's frozen over.
Hell is frozen over, a key part of our game, right?
Obviously, that just happens. And you're going to be thawing it out as you advance. So, yeah. So let's pick up these rewards and talk about what they are, and then we can do a battle and move on.
Which one do you want to pick up first?
I always go for the Herzl's Hoard there, the gain an artifact. So artifact are passive benefits. So let's go ahead and just click on that guy. And then you have a choice. You have a choice of 2 passive benefits whenever you click on one of these on the map. And in this case, it is... So the Trader's Quill, when a card with Consume is played, such as the potions that give spikes that we have, deal 20 damage to the front enemy unit in that room that you're playing it in. So that's pretty good. That's a lot of damage. It obviously will not scale to end game very well, but it will be very good at the beginning of the game, so that's pretty good. The other one is friendly units enter with Rage 3.
The Scorching Restraints.
The Scorching Restraints. Rage gives attack damage and then decays over time. I don't know. What's your favorite?
I think for me, like whenever I'm making a decision like this, without making too much of an aside, I would check my deck. I would briefly look. How many consume cards do I have? I've got Pyre Shards. I've got 2 Pyre Shards. All right, that's it. So I've got 2 consume cards that I will probably cast in every battle. So that's 40 damage per battle that I would get from that. Or do I want to gamble on that this Rage 3 will be better on a unit-focused strategy? Then the next thing I would check is what's our final boss, and our final boss devours our spells.
It makes them all consume.
Right. So maybe that's good?
So that could be good.
Should we go for the Quill?
I think let's go for the Quill. I like the Quill with that endgame fight.
All right.
We do have a couple questions showing up.
Let's start with Obsidian Spire. Is there a way to make a card not have a consume status?
Let's come back to that one.
Let's come back to that one.
There's going to be a perfect time to answer that question, so we'll just remember it.
PND Agent 117 asks, I wonder if you descend an enemy unit into a floor that's frozen, what happens?
That is a good question. That one's easy to answer. Basically, if you cannot move a unit up or down for any reason, and frozen rooms are totally blocked off, it just won't let you. It will give you a little message saying you can't do that. It will let you try, and if anything was to trigger on a unit moving, it will often let you get you that benefit. So some units or some artifacts will change what happens when units move up or down. Those will often still fire, but you can't move them.
All right, and we'll come back to Obsidian Spire's question later. But let's first go to the Dark Forge, which is where we can upgrade our champions.
Right,
so,
and these will keep showing up later as well.
Right, so every monster clan has a champion, and so whatever your main clan is, there's the main clan and the allied clan in every run in Monster Train. You get to choose an upgrade for your champion in the Dark Forge.
Right.
And so we've got 2 options here, and there's more than 2 options overall, but these are the 2 that have been rolled for this run. So we can choose between the Explosive Upgrade, which is a Rejuvenate, deal 10 damage to the front enemy unit. And what is Rejuvenate? Whenever we're healed.
Whenever we're healed, no matter what. Zero heal counts. It just has to be a heal that hits that unit.
And we've got the other side. We can have more overall health. You see on the left that we have 15 health if we choose that one. And this one we go up to 20 health with spikes 5 at all times.
Right. So we have a lot of spikes right now. We don't have spike synergy yet, but we could kind of jump into that. Regen
for that, right?
Works with Rejuvenate. We don't have any regen. So, but I'll leave it up to you.
What would I choose? Let's see. I feel like I would probably gamble, since I'm opening my deck view here. Since I already have 2 cards that provide more spikes, I would gamble for more spikes. So let's go with spikes.
All right, that's great.
Now we've taken all the rewards that we have available here, and we've had a battle. It's time for battle.
Yeah, let's jump in. So we're going to try to play more quickly today than we did before, but we'll still sort of touch on what's going on. Trials. Did we talk about trials last time?
No, we skipped them.
We skipped trials. Okay, so trials are important. Basically, if you think you are stronger than the battle by enough, you can take a trial for an additional reward. Or you have a lot of health you're willing to lose, anything like that. So usually early game, it's a good idea to take trials, but you want to look at what you're facing. You want to look at what the trial is. In this case, I think this is like a pretty decent trial for us.
So Spell Shield. It means it will block our direct damage spells primarily that we would cast upon the enemy units. If we look into... We've got these torch spells, but for the most part, especially if we're relying on a spike strategy, spikes are not blocked by Spell Shield.
Right. So this could be great.
We should take it?
I think let's take it. All right, let's go right for that, yeah.
And we'll get a bonus of 50 gold by taking this additional challenge, so let's try it.
So it's a quick reminder of what we just chose.
Which we put in the game because we kept forgetting. All right.
All right, so we've got this enemy unit. 1 guy entered the train. This is different than last time. Those purple circles are triggers. They're things that will happen. This is a slay trigger, so whenever it kills, if it deals a killing blow, it gets a damage shield. So basically, damage shields prevent the next source of damage, and then they're removed. So if this guy kills anything, we're pretty sad. So we don't want to put little blockers in front of it. Which is usually pretty easy to do. It's first battle, but work being worked. So
we should put our champion here, I think.
I think that's a pretty good move.
And we start with our 5 spikes that we chose. Let's just put some more spikes on there.
Stack it right up. I love it.
Let's put the Pyre Shards right on.
20 damage as well.
And we got free 20 damage. So that's still not enough to kill him, as our preview is telling us that...
Right. So if you're watching for the first time today, that little number to the upper right is the combat results. So when we end the turn, they're going to do battle. The enemies are going to advance up our train. We're trying to protect the object at the very top, the Pyre.
Yes.
So we want to defeat the enemies before they reach there. And that damage preview is showing how much we're going to take. So it will do 3 to us, and we'll do 9 to it due to the spikes.
Yes, we forgot to say that our overall goal is to bring the pyre to the center of hell, the ninth ring of hell, basically. So we need to protect this in every single battle we partake on our journey. As Andrew said, the enemies are going to climb every turn to try to get up here, and we're trying to stop them. So, all right. Our choice of Trader's Quill, so far so good. But this unit is not going to die yet. However, I see that casting Torch on this unit would not be very valuable because we took the trial, so it's got Spell Shield, so it would do nothing. However, summoning this Train Steward behind my champion, which I just did, which will be protected by my champion when we come to combat, will result in this unit dying. And we see the red X in our little preview here.
My favorite thing to see.
Yeah.
All right, so let's.
Should we just end turn?
Let's end that turn. Yeah. Just plan. All right, so we've got. Oh, this is one of my favorite things to do, actually. All right, we can put the Train Steward there. But I think we should ascend that guy.
Okay, so we've got a collector spawned in. Collectors are interesting. You can kill them for gold. So in general, in terms of the game design, these guys are like intended to create an interesting risk-reward moment. It's like, do I devote resources to trying to get rid of this collector to gain the extra gold benefit, or do I use them to prevent the enemies that are actually posing a threat to my train and trying to stop them from destroying the pyre? As a quick aside, before we decide what to do here, Vladimir Lemon asks, does the pyre heal after every skirmish, or do you have to heal it as you progress?
You have to heal it as you progress. So it is a resource you manage. Sometimes the map routes will have a way to heal it, but maybe it's not what you want to do, but maybe you think you need that heal. So there's a little risk versus reward there. The higher you are, the harder trials you can take, and the more rewards you can get. So it does not heal as you progress. Or does not heal after every skirmish. You have to find ways to heal it.
There are ways to heal it, though, as we may see as we proceed forward.
Right. We're not going to take any damage. We're too good at this game.
So, as Andrew was kind of saying, like, Hidden Passage is a really fun card because it can move units up and down. So these collector guys, actually, they have a trigger called Resolve that you may see in the tooltips here if you can read it. It says it flees after the battle if not rooted or dazed. And we're not going to talk about rooted or dazed yet. We may later, depending on what happens. But we have no way to put rooted or dazed in this guy, but we want to kill him. So we could use Torch to kill the collector directly. But that costs 1 Ember. And Ember is like our mana resource, basically. And it looks like actually in this hand we're fine, but it would be more fun to cast Hidden Passage.
We'll also use that on the other guy.
On this guy?
He's not going to, the Torch.
Oh, yes. But I want a Hidden Passage this guy.
We definitely should hit, yeah.
Okay,
let's finish this
Let's
up.
use a free cast of Hidden Passage, which is push the collector into our pyre room.
Right.
And what's going to happen when we end turn in the pyre room? What happens when enemies are in the pyre room?
So enemies always attack first during combat, but since this guy does not attack, our pyre is going to do its attack instead. It always does it after the enemy turn, and our pyre is going to take care of our little problem and give us the coin. So basically, free coin.
All right, free coin. Okay, and then down here, what do you think we should do?
That is a tough question. So we can't play our Train Steward. It has 2 capacity, which you can see on top of the card. We have 1 empty slot in this room, which you can see in the upper left of the room. So basically, let's play our Train Steward in the room above it, I think, probably.
Yeah. I think we might as well heal as well.
Heal our main guy, and then go ahead and Torch and take that shield off the enemy. No reason not to. There we go. And that should do our turn. We don't want to send anything because, it's a pretty good room for us, so.
So we see our pyre destroy the collector there in a little bit of combat. However, we were not able to defeat the Apprentice of Light this time, so he climbed into the second floor. And before we move on, let's see if we have some questions. All right, so will there be Easter eggs in the game? Soul Resident asks.
I mean, yes. Yes, there are. There's very interesting. Well, we can't really, tell you what they are. There would be Easter eggs, but we do love little hidden secrets. We'll find some.
All right. Well, we have an interesting hand now because we've drawn Restoring Retreat for the first time.
There's a very fun thing to do here, which we could consider doing. It means sort of this unit will get away from us, but.
Yes. So, Restoring Retreat is a card, so it moves a unit down. So, like, your initial reaction might be, it makes more sense to move the enemy down because we want to pull the enemy down away from our pyre, which is like essentially our overall health for the run. And if the pyre dies, we lose our run. So, you might think, like, in the moment of this battle, we should pull him down. However, the thing that these ascend or descend cards can also do is mess with the capacity of rooms, like Andrew was saying. So this room by default has a 5 capacity, and that's why we could not summon this train steward into this room, because he has a 2 capacity, as you can see in the tooltips here. And that's why we couldn't place him here, because there's only 1 capacity left. The thing is, though, that these ascend and descend cards can break that. We can break the rules, and that's what's fun about them. So we could pull this train steward back into this room, which would beef up the power of this room.
It would. It would do a lot more damage. So the risk is we will do less damage to that enemy, obviously. However, if we were to beat the boss before it reaches our pyre, which is possible by having a beefier bottom room, maybe it doesn't matter. Like, we don't have to kill that unit without, and we won't take damage. So should we try it? Let's try it.
Let's try it. Okay,
let's go for it.
Let's pull the train steward down into this room.
Now there's a little indicator saying we have too much in that room.
Yeah, we've overloaded the capacity, which is a rule-breaking thing that we support. It's just up to you to strategically make those decisions.
Right. We might as well put the train steward in that room above it.
The other one?
The other one. I mean, and probably...
in the heal.
Oh, heal. Let's heal. We're banking on this room being...
We're banking on a power room.
Right.
So I ended turn.
So there was... Oh, another question. Earlier asked in the Discord chat about what's the point of healing, more or less.
Yes.
So basically...
From Living Memes.
From Living Memes, asked, like... He was like, oh, I love healing clans. Why bother to heal when they just pass your unit? Well, the first thing is, these early battles have the fewest number of waves. But even now, you can already see that, both continued waves will go up through those rooms. So that unit here is already down to 5 health in this middle room. And as waves continue to go through it, it will get weaker and weaker. So if you were to heal it, you will keep your units in those rooms. Also, when bosses fight and they go into this Relentless mode, which this one just entered, for anyone watching for the first time today, Relentless means battle continues until one side is entirely dead. So bosses will do that and then destroy your rooms. Having the most health possible is very useful because your room is basically more effective. In this case, our strategy of keeping our champion at full health and moving that unit down seems to have paid off. We will defeat the boss without it ascending any further, and because we're defeating the boss, we win the battle immediately, and that means we don't even have to take care of that unit in the top room.
Right. So it looks like we're already doing well. However, there's more things we can do just to like
just want to play it for fun. Just drop that pyre shards.
I mean, of course, I would put pyre shards again on the front.
Yeah.
And it's just going to deal 20 damage to our boss. And then, of course, I would drop this guy down too to the back. We've got a overfilled.
Don't talk to me or my sons ever again.
Don't talk to me or my sons ever again. And I think we're done with this battle.
Let's do this. Let's just hit end turn.
So like we don't even care about this guy because the core thing we're trying to do in every battle is defeat the boss, and the discipled Inquisitor is the boss. So let's see how it goes as these guys find it out. It's looking good for us according to the damage preview. Boom!
Yeah, that's great.
There it goes.
Wow, we're so good at this game. Okay, so we got our rewards. We got our 25 coins from winning the battle. We got 50 from doing the trial. So as you can see, doing those trials is pretty important to your strategy. Like, that's more than double what you, or actually it's like triple what you normally get. And then there's 2 packs there, one for your clan, one for your allied clan. And if we hit collect, we're just going to pick that stuff up.
Right.
I think today we'll still skip over what score means. We'll leave that for another time.
So you're waiting for me to decide what I want to have.
Wow.
I think given our strategy today...
should we focus up here?
I would definitely, consume. We've already got Trader's
Yeah,
Quill, so
I love
more
it.
Consume. But, it could get ridiculous, though. We already have 2 of those. I would be tempted to go for Steel Enhancer because it also increases the health of our champion potentially and gives it attack, which we don't normally have.
I do like that, and that does synergize well. The health synergizes well with spikes.
All right, let's try it.
Let's give it a
just
shot.
To mix it up. Okay, so from our allied clan, and our allied clan is the Hellhorn, we have these options. So armor from Fortify, or Rage Serum, which is a consume card tagged Rage 3, or Pyre Chomper to gain 5 Ember on summon. So, as usual in a deck building game, I always review my deck when I'm making decisions where I'm not sure about. So, when I look at my cards here, I've got a lot of stuff that costs 1 or 0. So, Pyre Chomper looks less attractive to me because Summon Gain 5 Ember is not something I care about right now. You can gamble on that. It is a good chump blocker. Consume for Rage. Rage is good. Rage increases your damage, but it decays once per turn, as Andrew said previously. But none of these are like super attractive to me right now. What do you think, Andrew? What would you pick?
Oh god, I always like the Rage Serum. Like when in doubt, I go for the Consume card because they're usually like strong.
And we've got
the Trader's Quill.
All right, so let's go with the Rage Serum. I like that. All right, Vladimir Lemon asks, do you get fewer rewards for not killing every enemy?
Nope, you get the same number of rewards. So the only enemies you would not get rewards for are the collectors if you don't defeat them. So always try to defeat those.
All right, so now we're at the map basically, and we have different paths that we can select, which are about rewards. So as we showed here, when you initially start in Limbo, you get 2 automatic rewards, which affect the randomness of every single run. But once you get to the next map section, you get to choose. So in this, we have 2 paths. On the right path, we can choose between the Merchant of Steel, which is a merchant that allows us to improve our units. And we have a gold reward to get 50 gold. And on the left path, we have a Merchant of Magic that allows us to improve our spells, which is related to one of the open questions. And we have the Hellhorned Banner, which lets us get a Hellhorned unit from our allied clan.
Right.
And I think because one of our questions is about spells, why don't we go to the left side?
Let's go to the left.
Okay. So I clicked on the left side, my train travels there, and why don't we visit the Merchant of Magic? And what do we see here? So we've got a couple of different upgrade options, including one of the ones that was specifically Obsidian Spire's question about can we remove consumed.
I like it. Also, we did not do that on purpose.
Yes, so walk us through the options and what our thinking should be.
Right. So the merchants basically let you upgrade your cards. You can upgrade each card up to 3 times. Things have different costs, obviously. Also, you can purge cards. Purge cards will have cumulatively increasing costs, but will remove cards from your deck that you don't want anymore.
Yes, and Rum Before, I'm sorry if I butchered that, just asked.
Oh, right.
I tuned in a bit late. Can you thin your deck? Yes. Purging cards from the Merchant for gold is one of the options. And of course, critical in a deck building game in general to be able to both increase the size of your deck as well as reduce it. There are also other ways to reduce the size of your deck. There's multiple ways. Trading gold for it is one, and the cost increases as you continue to do that. But jumping back from that, what are the 3 options we're facing here, and which one do you think we should spend our 200 gold on?
Right. So we have a pretty distinct choice. So we can pick a few,
and we can buy 2 of them.
I always like removing Consume because Consume is a big drawback. Although it works less well with our artifact, we still have a number of Consume cards. So potentially, given that we're going down the Spikes route, I would choose to remove Consume from one of those Spikes potions we have.
So you want to first buy an Eternal Stone here.
I think I'd go with that Eternal Stone.
Okay. And you want to pull it off Spikes.
Let's pull off Spikes.
You know, the thing that's interesting about pulling Consume off, though, is that we don't get the Trader's Quill bonus anymore.
It's very true, but it's still pretty good. It's still pretty good.
So as I've clicked on this and previewed it, now you see this little icon here on the side of the card, this indicating that we're going to get the Eternal Stone bonus, which says it's going to remove Consume, which means, unlike normal Consume cards, we will be able to cast this as many times as we possibly can during battle. So, all right, let's do it. Let's upgrade that card. Okay.
Right.
Now
so
what do you
next,
want to do?
Oof, this one's tough. So we could basically decide to go heavy on heal. We can get 10 more magic power, plus 1 ember cost to a card, so we can make one of our heals very good. Or we could choose to improve one of our cards.
We have Torch as well, still.
We have Torch. So I actually really like the Power Stone on Torch. So Torch is very useful because it can hit the back row, which right now our Spike strategy sort of can, but not everything. Some utility guys it'll miss. And then as you get further in a run, that actually makes Torch kind of like scale into the late game pretty well. So I think in this case I would go with Magic Power.
That's
probably
not
on
just normal Power Stone.
Just normal Power Stone. Probably on a Torch.
On a Torch. So when I click this on, you can see that we dynamically update the text there. It says deal 5 damage, whereas this other one we're not applying it to says deal 2.
Right.
So that's what you want
And to talk through it, like, the other one would give us plus 10, but it would make it cost 2. And because often, like, the units in the back row have less hit points, like, we'd be doing overkill damage and spending more Ember for it. So that's the reason to go for the 3 over the plus 10. So we can also still afford a Purge, which is usually pretty useful.
All right, so we can afford a Purge. If we were going to pay 25 gold to Purge, what would you Purge off?
At this point, probably also a Torch. We are taking those hits. We do want to do healing. We've upgraded one of our torches, but I would remove one of probably the weaker ones.
All right, let's remove a Torch. It's gone from our deck.
Often, eventually, you want to start removing the Train Stewards because they take up space, but we're not at that point in the run.
All right, so we've got a Hellhorned unit choice here. We've got the Branded Warrior. He spawns in with Rage 3, which powers up his attack even more from the base stats. And Slay is a trigger. When it gets a kill, it applies Rage 2 to friendly units, which means everybody in the room that Branded Warrior is in also gets benefited from Rage. Or we've got the Rail Beater, who comes in with Armor 10, which is like an additional 10 hit points essentially. And on Strike, which is another trigger, pushes the attacked unit to the back, which can be useful because, as you'll see, perhaps maybe not in this stream, but in later ones, like in battles, a lot of the time there's like armor units in the front, and so pushing them to the back means that the juicier, higher damage units get pulled to the front.
This is a tough choice. Up to you. Why don't you pick this one?
All right, I'm trying to think. So our strategy is heavily based on spikes right now. Spikes doesn't really benefit as much from pushback type of stuff, so I would go with the Branded Warrior.
Let's do it. We also have a question.
Yes, Vladimir Lemon asks, is there a maximum, number of cards for your deck? If so, is it even possible to reach? As of right now, there is no maximum number of cards, nor min.
That's true.
So we look forward to someone breaking the game in the beta.
One card. Good luck. 0 cards might be tough to win with.
All right, let's go into battle 2. And the stream is going like 100 times slower than we anticipated, perhaps. We're already 30 minutes in.
Okay. That is quite a bit slower.
So we're going to continue. Let's do at least battle 2.
I'd love to get to battle 3 if we can, but that could be tough.
I'm okay with going long. All
right, let's give it a shot. As long as you guys are throwing questions, people are hanging out. Let's throw it down. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
what are we doing?
We're still at max health. I'm thinking about the trial here at this point.
We've got the Pyre Absorbers. So these pyre-sensitive attackers are heavy hitters and get stronger when spells are cast, which is kind of bad for us because we're a kind of spell-heavy deck right now.
Right.
Use your spells wisely. We've got a trial option for the Mark of Invasion. At the start of battle, enemy units appear on each floor for an extra 50 gold. I mean, I know how this works, so...
yeah.
What do you think? But we're also Spikes, which Spikes messes these guys up. But
it does.
They've gotten stronger recently. Like, what do you think?
Often with early game trials, look at my health, and especially where there's no mutators in a run, I got out to 80 health. We can afford to lose some if we do.
Okay. So
and getting the rewards is pretty good. Let's see if they can do some damage to us.
Okay, reminder of our invasion. The reason why we put this here, by the way, how the development team is because we kept forgetting what it was.
Even though you just
clicked it, we just forgot.
And it's like, by the way, it's up here. Just letting you know.
All right, so we've got now, because we took the sin of invasion, where at the start of battle, enemy units appear on each floor. We've got a lot of enemies in our terrain right now.
Right, so that basically spawns those in the middle and the top. And these guys are tough. They start with 2 rage, so they're like 1/1 units. But they start with 2 rage. They start with +4 attack, they go down to +2, and then they go down to +0. So this basically means they were putting out 20 points of damage on that top floor, which is, I believe, enough to kill our champion. It's enough to kill our champion.
So we're pretty much just gonna have to sack that first one almost. I mean, we could
do that. We could ascend one from the middle and try to. We have options.
We could send one down and then
send one down.
Yeah, so it's a very different kind of set where we can just sack the...
You can really see where like you can think about a lot of things with this game. There's a lot of options right now. And it's hard to tell exactly what the best one is at all times.
Or we could even just ignore them and just take the damage, as you said, because we have full health.
We can afford it.
And just focus down here.
That could be a good option at this point. So maybe let's just do that. Let's let our Pyre take care of it. Or we could like...
I mean, I'm tempted to mess with him, though.
Yeah?
Like, pushing down is tempting because he'll lose it.
We should definitely push one down.
Okay, he'll lose it in first stack.
No heals because... That seems great. So like now he would survive, or she would survive in the top floor.
But still, is it worth?
We would take a lot
life,
of pain. Yeah, we'd have to know we could take care of it next turn.
Probably not. Right?
Probably not. So let's drop that down there.
Here's the other thing I would do. So there's a healer
Oh,
in this
definitely.
room.
Yeah, let's get rid of him.
Trusted priest. And the overcharged apprentice here is going to take some damage no matter what
So the
happens.
reason his preview says 0 is it's going to take 5 damage, and then it's going to heal 5.
It's going to take 5 damage from the spikes on,
Right.
the sentient dark champion. Well, why don't we pull in the branded warrior? Here.
Branded warrior. Yep.
So now it
Oh,
says
mine's
16.
I love it already.
But it's going to get even better when we push this healer out of this room.
Yep.
However, the overcharged apprentice powers up his attack every time we cast a spell in the room. So that's an incant.
Yep.
Every time a spell is cast in this room, then they power up. So, all right, we have this train steward, but I think if we cast this train steward anywhere, it's going to get trashed. So
yeah, we might as well just hang on to it.
And we can't cast it into this room because we're out of capacity.
Also a question.
Question from Soul Resident: will there be skins that you can apply to the train or rooms?
With launch, the answer is no. Although that's pretty cool. And that could be something we do in a patch or DLC or something like that.
So we're definitely going to be accepting damage here. So let's see.
All right. So they lose some rage though.
These 3 guys did 9 damage, and they got destroyed
Our
by
attacks
power.
back. Yeah. Oh, that's me. Oh, we got a torch.
Oh,
or the same trick as last time.
Right. The collector's all the way back here. So we've got 3 restorers, a hidden passage, and a torch. So.
Well, there's no reason to. Then we can't torch the healer.
We should probably hidden passage the cherub.
I think so. I think you're.
The collector.
Yep.
Let's bring him up there.
All right, we
That
got
means
him
our
again.
pyre will kill him. These guys will all live. The healer doesn't matter here because these guys all have 1 life.
Camera again.
Down here we want to get rid of the healer.
Yep.
Do we dare heal to give this guy another level
Oh,
of damage?
I don't know if I would at this point. We don't have to deal with him anymore after this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we could heal. The decision we're making is that we could heal the sentient our champion here with 3 life, which would bring it to full life. However, the overcharged apprentice has an incant trigger. This purple information here. That
Just gonna keep getting attacked.
Yeah, the attack power will increase every time we cast a spell in this room. So Andrew says he thinks we should strategically not do that. So let's just skip it and damage. We get the gold. Thank you. Heal doesn't matter. We deal some damage, defeat it, we're going to take some here. It's not too much. We're trading life for future benefit, essentially. Alright.
That's a pretty juicy hand. We got some of our new cards.
We've got our break.
And we've got to try to deal with that top floor at minimum. Or take some damage.
Yep. Well, we've got this.
So
I mean, we got 10
actually,
pyre damage, so
That consume will deal with it.
Yes, that's true.
And we could be kind of tricky. We could play it, I believe, on the enemy.
Yes, we could. However, that would kill the enemy. So we could use our Rage Serum, which is something you normally want to cast on your own units to make them stronger. We could cast it on the enemy. And this is why, like, some people ask us, why do you let people cast like spells like Rage Serum that look like you only want to put that on a friendly unit? This is exactly why we let you cast it on enemies, is because of combinations with things like Trader's Quill. So if we cast this onto an enemy, he will get stronger with the rage effect. However, the Trader's Quill will trigger, dealing 20 damage, which will kill this unit. Now, if we required that you must cast that on a friendly, that would mean we would have to pre-place a friendly unit, which we could do in this hand, but what if you didn't have this train steward unit? And you wouldn't be able to do that.
That's right. That's right. Or we want to put it somewhere else, which I don't think we do, but
So, interesting.
yeah.
But it's also, you're also burning the effect of Rage 3. We know that we have a boss coming, so my intuition would be to not do that and just take the damage. So I would probably
Get
cast
it down to
cast
under
Torch.
10. So we're going to do 10
under
damage
10.
to it.
We're going to do 10 damage. So we're going to take 4.
Take 4.
It's going to go up.
Or we could put the train steward there to get that.
You could?
We can only take 3.
But if we don't kill the boss in this 4... Alright, well, I can see that. Alright, let's cast the train steward here. The train steward is going to deal 5 damage to the overcharged apprentice, which means it will go below 10 and go to 9. Which means that it will deal 3 damage to us, but we'll survive. Then I would focus down here, and I would do a couple things. First, I would heal the front line, heal the sentient. I would probably... I forget how much damage the boss is. I'd probably put this on the sentient as well.
I think so.
To try to survive
I
longer.
think so.
And the rage I would put on the back.
Let's do it. We've already got a little bit of rage anyway, so
brand
it'll last a little longer.
Let's see what happens. So we know that we're not going to defeat that unit. He's going to climb, he can deal some damage, but die.
Alright.
So now here we are against the boss.
So as you can see, the bosses get considerably harder from that first one. That said, we've got some tricks. So
I mean, obviously we're
sadly,
going to
we're not getting 20 damage on this anymore.
We're going to
but
put Pyre
there you
Shards
go.
here. We're going to put Pyre Shards onto our champion again.
Let's do it. It's getting close.
We got 20 damage off that. Let's get rid of the healer.
Maybe. All right, we have the Ember for it. I think we can do the same trick as we did last time with that Train Steward as well. Push him down.
So, okay. In this room, we only have 1 capacity slot left. So by default, you can see if we've got this red kind of placement indicator. We cannot put a Train Steward in this room. However, we've got an empty room now where we can put a Train Steward, and we still have enough Ember to push him down. We can break the rules, as we explained before.
Right.
We can break the rules and push him down with that
Perfect.
card. So ascend and descend cards allow you to break the rules. And so now our damage preview is showing that this boss is dead, so I'm feeling good. Just hit end turn.
It's not
And
bad.
we don't even care what happens up there anymore because the level is over.
And like I said earlier, these first 2 battles are definitely the shortest. Basically, after this point, they get a lot longer. So you will have to deal with more and more waves. You're going to have to keep your units alive longer. I think we'll try to get to one more battle, and you can sort of see what it looks like. Oh, also, it has a whole brand new type of boss mechanic. So maybe we play through part of that battle, but not the whole thing. Let's see how we do.
Spike strategy. Take sharpen.
Take the spikes. And it's like a worse version of one we upgraded, but you know, more spikes.
What do we care about at this point? We still don't really care about Ember. We don't have an Ember focus strategy.
I kind of like the armor imp in this case.
All right, take the Welder Helper,
A little extra survivability.
who on summon gives us some armor. Okay.
Ooh, so many new things. Well, we got the merchants again this time, which doesn't always happen, but this time we do. We're a lot lower on coin. Also, we have another chance to get an artifact, which is always great.
That's here at Herzl's Horde.
Or there is a health node on the other side.
Or we can get health. And so we have 63 out of 80 pyre health. And remember, if that goes to 0, we lose the run. But many people on the dev team are greedy, so I think the dev team would definitely go this way.
It's, future investment.
However, it'll devour our spells, so spell merchants sometimes are riskier
Right.
for the final
we
boss.
maybe should be investing in our units, but we're not going to get there this
we're not
time.
having that, so.
Also, that one in the middle that shows up on both sides, the concealed caverns, that's an event. So that basically is going to be something that is fairly random, and you'll get some new choices and totally dynamic. Yeah, those are really cool. So let's definitely show that off, which we'll do either way we go. So you want to be greedy?
Let's be greedy.
Let's be greedy. Great. I love it.
Right. I would start by picking the artifacts.
Sounds good.
All right, we've got
This is funny, actually.
two different artifacts that boost the power of a specific card called Sting. And there's many ways to get a card called Sting into your
Right.
deck when you have the Awoken clan as one of your 2 clans. But it's very hard to pick, as mentally as a player, I would be like, I don't know which one to pick because we don't have a Sting-focused deck right now.
I don't think we have any way to get stings. With this run, I would actually probably skip this. I would just take the 20 coins.
You
It's
take
not
the 20
a lot.
coins.
I think I just would. We just don't have it going on.
Yeah, so anytime we have one of these picks right now, we have an option to take coin as an alternative option, just in case it's not something that you think is actually going to be useful. Yeah, Andrew says he doesn't think either of these. I would probably take one of them. So
Yeah?
since I'm
Alright,
controlling the mouse,
you
I
all
would
the
say,
time override me.
which one do I think is going to be more useful? And based on my knowledge of the game, I probably would take Channel Heart. So I'm going to take Channel Heart. And we're going to see if that backfires as soon as we go to Merchant of Magic. Vladimir Lemon asks, event. And a new emoji I've never seen before. How does that work? Well, why don't we find out? Why don't we click on that right now?
All right, let's start with the event.
Even before we go to the Merchant, why don't we go to the Concealed Caverns? Which is, that's usually a good idea anyways,
Well,
because
yeah.
you'll see why. So Our train has rolled up onto the Chaos Portal this time. And it says the train jerks to a halt to avoid the Chaos Portal that spontaneously appeared. The whirling pit tears apart everything around it, sucking in anything that gets too close. Do you throw something in?
I mean, obviously.
And it says we have two options. We can just leave, which we're not going to do, or we can throw something, purge a card, and gain a card. Okay, well, we can get rid of a card and we can get a new card. I don't know what new card we're going to get, but do we have any cards that we don't like at this point? So we've taken some new units. So I think we've taken the Branded Warrior.
Right.
I'm looking at my deck view here. We've taken the Welder Helper. I think I would probably throw away a Train Steward at this point.
Maybe it's a little early. Like, we haven't filled up our rooms yet. I wouldn't yet. Like,
it's interesting that we have different strategies here.
We do.
I would definitely throw away a Train Steward right now. So
Yeah,
what would you say?
I think I'd probably go... Well, Torch is good on the next boss. Oof. I'd probably do Restore.
You want to throw away a Restore. All right.
Throw away Restore.
So we're going to throw away a Restore here. So that's purged out of our deck. As if satisfied by your offering, the Chaos Portal reverses its pull, spewing out debris from all over hell. Through the mess, you can clearly see the realms of both the Awoken and the Hellhorned. A brief opening allows you to reach for one. Which one do you pick, Andrew?
I feel like we should ask chat. I've got it open on my phone here. So the first person that says either Awoken or Hellhorned, we're just going to go with what the first person says.
All right.
I see some people chatting.
Chats. Okay. It's a vote, apparently. Do we go with...
Awoken. Soul Resident is number one.
Soul Resident says Awoken.
Says Awoken, so...
We're going to get a rare Awoken
just like
card.
our last game.
This is actually great!
This is perfect. We could not have asked for a better card.
So we got Bramble Lash, and so what Bramble Lash does, it costs 2 Ember, and it deals damage to the front enemy unit equal to 5x the amount of spikes on friendly units within the room. So we are going, I'm opening my deck, we are going for a spike strategy. We got Pyre Shards, we got Sharpen, all kinds of stuff that boosts spikes. 5x our spikes damage. So if we get 10 spikes, this will be 50 damage when we cast this every single time. This is not a consume a spell.
Right.
So this is good.
It's great.
Soul Resident, thank you. Fantastic advice.
Right.
It makes sense given our focus on cards that were more focused on the Awoken clan.
It's true. That is a good strategic choice.
We turn to leave and the Chaos Portal disappears. Our train drives away. We were like looking out through a boxcar, basically. Okay, so we still have 105 gold. Why don't we visit the spell merchant here, and what are our options this time?
So, well, one we can't afford. So really, early game it always offers you one really good upgrade. Later in the run it will always offer you 2. So in this case, it's Permafrost. Since we can't buy it, I think we'll skip over talking about that today. And then we have the same 2 spell magic power upgrades. There are 3 common upgrades that are offered. These 2, and also something that reduces the cost, which would have been really nice if we had that. I would definitely have gone for that.
Reduces the ember.
Reduces the ember cost. That said, this one.
Sometimes I like to click on them and just like see what my options are and just click on it. So like we could do 5x plus 10. That's probably not great.
That's not great because that's throwing it up to 3.
However, descend 20 health is a lot of health.
Right,
but it goes
the utility. It puts it at 2. Like we could do a restore with this one. That could be good actually.
You think a restore?
13 health, like on our champion or something. Like that's a pretty juicy heal.
So I'd cancel. This is how I play, and I'd click on the other one and just be like, just click around.
Imagine what it would be like.
What
would your life be like if you had 8 damage torch? You know, like
8 damage torch is
just
good.
Retire with that. Yeah, no, that is pretty good.
We could also purge.
We could
probably purge once, and we could buy one of these.
We could purge once and buy one.
I would probably purge at this point.
I think so.
And I would purge a train steward.
I think you have to do it. You just want to throw it away.
I think Steve's...
Let's throw it away.
Okay, let's get rid of a train steward.
Let's throw away that train steward.
I feel like that's more important than buying both of these. So now we can buy potentially one. Which one would you go for? I'll let you make
Let's do the heal. Let's get a juicy heal.
This one?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's just throw it on.
You want to put it on a restore?
It feels a little risky, but I like it. I like it. I think we might like having that. This battle is going to last longer. It's going to do more damage. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Made all our decisions, so let's go.
Time to do Daedalus and talk about Daedalus a little bit. So this is a new kind of battle. There's 3 big bosses you're going to face in every run. Level 3, level 6, level 8, which is where you face Seraph. So Daedalus is always the one you face at level 3, but Daedalus has variants, has different ways he works. He always spawns bombs on your floors, which we'll see in a minute. Plus, this one, enemy units will enter with damage shield, which basically means every unit's going to take 1 hit of anything before it starts taking regular damage.
That's bad for spikes.
That is tough for spikes.
Yeah.
So, but we have the torches which we can use. So we'll see what we can do. So let's dive on in. And you have no choice here. There's no trials on big bosses. You kind of just have to deal with what they're throwing at you. There's also one advantage you sort of have with big bosses. They are always on the board, basically, starting from the very start of battle. They're always flying over there, which means that if you can clear out that room, or you just want to target them, you will be able to do damage to them before they enter sort of a relentless mode. They will, after a certain number of turns, become relentless, work like other bosses. They actually do also a lot of damage, so you often want to be putting damage on them ahead of those waves. If they basically hit that phase with full health, you better have a pretty good defense. We actually have a strategy that might work for that with the spikes and the health, but we should be trying to also do damage when we can to Daedalus during this battle.
So given our kind of setup, we've got a more defensive setup in this run, I think for sure.
Right.
And we have all these units because of the sin of plating seal, where all enemy units enter with damage shield. I would probably set up my main focus of my damage on the top floor.
I think that's,
I would do.
Right.
That's
I mean,
what
like with the rage guys.
Yeah, they're entering with
yeah,
rage.
like you don't want to deal. So these explosives will explode every turn. He's going to spawn new ones in every turn. So we don't want to get in their way. We either want to like hit them with a torch, or just kind of stay out of their way or heal the damage they do. Also, Soul Resident said, "What do you have against trained stewards?" That guy was just doing his job. It is true. Sometimes their job is to be removed from your deck eventually. Most runs will end with you having removed them.
So I feel like I'm going to put my champion on the top floor.
Let's do it.
And you said I could decide all the decisions to play. So
I think so. I think let's see how you play.
And I think I would put the Branded Warrior behind my champion again.
Probably.
It's my primary damage dealer that we're hoping to beef up over time.
Right.
Now we've got a Restore, a Torch, and we've got a Welder Helper. So I definitely want to burn somebody's damage shield off with a Torch. I don't care about destroying the Constructive Explosive because the Constructive Explosive is like a bomb. It blows up every turn, so it's going to go away after this turn. So I don't need to target that. So I could either burn it off on the Daedalus, or I could look at a question. Question from Soul Resident: why does the damage shield icon look like a sad face?
I think it's supposed to represent the damage incoming to a shield.
It should be reversed based on which side you're on. I wonder. Like if you imagine it was turned around, it would look
then it would look like your shield. That is true. Yeah. That's it. Also, all the icons are getting a bit of a facelift before you guys will actually see them in beta. So
if I turn my head this way, it does look like a sad face with a.
Is that a very large nose, like 2 little eyes?
Yeah.
I like it. New lore. All right. Yeah. So anyway, you were saying Torch, Welder Helper is the other decision. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have no reason to heal on turn 1. So I would either burn off somebody's shield, which I would like thinking about it. I don't know. I'd be tempted to burn it off. I'd be tempted to burn off Daedalus.
I think it's either that or that front guy. Maybe just start do Daedalus. Let's
I'm gonna turn
do
off
it.
Daedalus.
Yeah, I like it.
And then for Welder Helper, I would be almost tempted not to cast him or to speculatively cast him in this room.
I think that, like, if we get a steward, we can put some stewards behind him.
So why don't we cast him?
Yeah, I like it.
So he armors up. He's got 1 attack, 1 life, 10 armor, which is like extra life essentially. We have nothing to heal, so let's end our turn.
Yeah, basically armor, damage is dealt to armor first. Otherwise, it works like health, and you can have as much as you want. So that's pretty good. Reason. Ooh. Yeah.
So we have a bomb that has been spawned here, but we also have a bunch of our pyre shards.
I just kind of want to go hard on Daedalus.
Yeah.
Should we do it?
I think we should.
All right. Oh, and we still
we can move the bomb out of the way.
We don't have to because we have the artifacts,
one, right?
but we're gonna miss out on 20 damage.
So okay, we've got some choices here. So, all right, casting this pyre shards where we removed consume. We should just do that. Let's just put that on our chart. It's just to remove the options.
Right.
Okay, so now I could put this pyre shards that gives him another 4, but we didn't remove consume off this one. So if we cast this, then it would deal 20 damage to the bomb. However, this is the decision. We could cast Restoring Retreat on the bomb. So normally, this is again like, why would you want to cast Restoring Retreat, which heals the unit,
right,
and moves it down? Why would you want to cast that on an enemy instead of your own? Well, here's a reason.
It's max health.
Yeah, if this guy's...
But we could also torch it, and then it's not going to hit the imp.
That's true. I mean, the imp's already in trouble, but basically we could. So, to finish my thought on restoring retreat, we could push him down and heal it, which will do no healing because it's already at max health. It only has 1 life, and that would get it out of the way.
There's a quick question, which is pretty good.
Okay, ignore if you want. We're not going to ignore that. But I wondered, if no one's in the room, it doesn't matter if the bomb goes off, right? That's like if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound?
Right. Yep. There's no impact of the bomb, which is a valid strategy, especially early on in this fight. I mean, sometimes you're going to have more units, you're going to want to fill up all the rooms, but you can totally ignore where the bombs are going. It's part of the counterplay against this particular boss. Right.
So you could pull this down, but we could also torch Daedalus.
We definitely want to save 2. So sort of where we're headed with this is we want to hit Daedalus with that Bramble Lash. That Bramble Lash is getting big. It's going to get even bigger.
It's getting even bigger when we cast this.
We are going to do a bunch of damage. We're looking forward to it. So we're just trying to figure out how to get the bomb out of the way. If we don't get the bomb out of the way, the Bramble Lash is going to hit the bomb, which is just disappointing. It's not what we want.
Let's torch the bomb. Torch the bomb.
Right.
Let's Pyre Shards our champion.
Ooh, plus 20. Bam. He's going to take 14. Like, they don't even attack during this phase, so we're going to get 14 free.
And we're getting a 65 damage Bramble Lash. So
this feels good.
Bramble Lash on the card tells you in the little helper, it says it's going to do 65 damage, which is not what the guy is saying up there, but that is what it's going to do.
Right.
So let's play.
Oh, if we do that again, though, you can just knock this guy right out. So, granted, we have a lot more waves coming up. They might get in the way, but we'll see. We're going to try to do that again to him at least before the end of the battle.
And before we hit end turn, Obsidian Spire asks, are there other mobs that are larger than the rooms, like the bosses, or is that an Easter egg?
There's not, strictly speaking, anything larger like they are. They are the largest thing you're going to face. They are the big bosses, after all. That said, there are ways to make your units larger, technically, which we'll get to that at some other point, since they did not show up today.
And the turn finally. That little imp guy, he broke one of the damage shields, but otherwise just got pummeled, basically. And Daedalus moves down, sends another bomb, that imp's gone. He's dead.
So, we should probably check in on that floor above it, just to see what our state is. Yeah, that makes sense. So we're going to take care of 2 of them. Spikes is going to remove the damage shield from all of them. If we could, which I think we probably could, we could do damage to that back row guy and take care of everything.
Yeah, I would probably, I would probably cast, if it was me, just my gut, it's like I would Rage Serum our guy in the back because his rage continues to grow with the Slay trigger. And I would probably torch off a shield to try to kill all of them.
I think so.
So that's what I would do. I would cast Rage Serum on the back row.
It's going to get 20, so
it's going to get 20.
Yeah, that's not going to quite get us there, though.
And then I'm going to take off a shield. Well, he's going to die from this guy, right?
Yep, that should work. Either one should work. So sometimes, even though there's a battle preview here, obviously sometimes you still kind of got to think through how that battle's going to play out to see the impact of what you're about to do. Mm-hmm. So in this case, we were thinking, the damage shield is going to be removed from both, from the spikes. Our back row guy is going to kill one. However, if we were to remove the damage shield through torch, it will kill that unit. Right. Back row unit will still take damage.
And then I forgot about Trader's Quill, so then I didn't completely misplay that, but I didn't think about all the capabilities.
Right. We could have used it on a previous one. There's all sorts of options. So,
we can kill this and then put the train steward down here.
Right, so we put the train steward down there, it would die, I believe. Even in the back, I think it... No, it wouldn't.
No, we can kill the bomb because the bomb doesn't have damage shield.
So yes, if we killed the bomb, we would be fine.
Let's kill the bomb.
All right.
Bomb's dead. Do we put him in front or in back?
I think I'd probably put him in... Ooh, I'd put him in front, actually, because that imp's almost dead anyway. Removing damage shield is good. It's going to take care of that guy. Also, one little thing you can do here, it won't matter this round. You can use a card like Hidden Passage on the boss to kind of move it around. It's still going to move on its own turn and keep flying around and doing stuff.
Let's do it for fun.
Just do it for fun, because we're not going to do anything else with it. Slide them up, So if we were going to get through this wave, we could have used that as a way to do a bit more damage to that boss.
I think we're done, though.
That could have done it. Nothing to heal. Everything is healthy still, so... bottom floor is still very tough. So we're going to keep probably not putting stuff down there.
Right.
A lot of options again. We have even more spikes. We've got that juicy restore. Look at that guy. So it's probably going to be an overheal right now. So maybe, I led us a little bit astray.
We've got hidden passage though too. We can pull.
Right, just put him up in the front, or we could put our train steward in front of him to protect him. Put it right there.
Lots of things to think about. I'm definitely putting spikes on my champion.
Maybe. Can I throw out a strategy here?
Sure. I'm not gonna like it, but go ahead.
Probably not. We could use it as a way to remove damage shields earlier. So if we put that healthy train steward in front of the other one, and we just put the 2 spikes on it, it will remove that damage shield and get through more damage to that.
That's true. I would always go to just try to.
I
would gamble on like Daedalus climbing and then just try to hit him with a bramble
we gotta draw on the right turn, but.
All right. I'll listen to Andrew. So we'll play him there, and we'll put Sharpen on this unit. You want to enhance him too with Steel Enhancer, because that'll keep him alive longer to blow off those shields.
It's not a bad idea, and we're doing some damage up top anyway. So.
You want to say yes?
Let's do it. Let's go for it. Probably nothing to ascend. I mean, for fun we can do the boss again.
Sure, let's do the boss.
Keep moving around like we're just jerks. We're just like throwing them all over the train. Attack the top room, says Steve. Often not a bad strategy. That is something else we could have done with that.
Okay, final wave.
All right, final wave. So it has become relentless. It is going to be advancing up the train.
And by it, you mean Daedalus.
I do mean Daedalus. So we still have some waves to take care of. We don't really have a bottom floor. Probably should not advance it extra fast.
So I would be dumping all the buffs on my champion. That's how I
let's do it.
play. So
let's make your champion.
Let's put that on there. Let's put that on there.
Ran out of Ember for that guy, which is fine.
But it's still, we can still heal him.
Yeah.
I would still
probably heal. Cool.
We bring him up. But what's the point of leaving him?
Oh, why don't we just get an extra turn?
Destroys the lowest floor.
We did a solid 1 damage on this one. So here, before you do that, again, just kind of walk through an option. The thing is, we have Bramble Lash this turn. We are probably not going to draw it next turn.
We've got 5 cards in our discard pile and 3 cards in our draw pile. So it'd be risky.
Now here's
so
what
you want to push him down and cast him?
Oh, absolutely. So I think we should move our champion down with all those spikes.
Send the champion.
And then, I mean, it might even be enough, but let's go all the way. Let's just
looks like enough. But let's cast Fire Shards.
More spikes.
We've got 19 stacks of spikes on our champion now.
Right, which is going to do a solid 95 damage.
And we've got 95 damage.
Look at that wombo combo right there.
Definitely going to kill.
Explode.
Daedalus, and he's gone.
He's gone. All right. So I think new spoils here, new other stuff, but I think that's a pretty good spot to sort of wrap up today.
We've been way longer than we anticipated. We were like, let's see how far we can get.
We thought we were going to get a lot further, more than twice as far. We thought, this is still like early game. Like your deck right now is starting to form, but there's so much stuff you can still do to it. So many ways to expand it. Obviously, so many everything else in the game. So, but that's a pretty good spot to stop for today.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you on the next Monster Train stream where we will reveal some more.
Right. I think we want to talk about multiplayer maybe. I don't know. There is multiplayer. It's very, very cool. Talk more about beta.
And please sign up if you haven't at themonstertrain.com.
Sign up for beta. Wishlist us on Steam. Super appreciated. Join us in Discord if you're not in Discord with us. Ask us more questions.
Okay, what question should win?
What? We have to choose?
We have to choose? Genesee, I thought you were going to help us with this.
Yeah, she's the professional here.
Well, we will choose. Let's look through all the questions that we have.
Oh, no, this is too much pressure. On sheer volume, there's a lot of good questions. I liked the healing question. I thought that was pretty interesting. The Pyre heal after every skirmish, that was good. Yeah, let's go with that one. Let's get Vladimir Lemon. All right.
Okay, Vladimir Lemon.
I can't choose, you guys. We'll just have to try to get you guys all in beta. That's going to be the way it works. Keep watching, keep following on Discord. We will give away more beta keys, have more information about that. Thank you all for watching.
All right, and thanks for the questions, everybody. See you next time.